Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how my snipers doing today? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're going to be talking about the one, the only Zbec network. Listen, breaking news: Zebec ZBCN just got added to the ultra exclusive Bloomberg Galaxy DeFi Index. This literally just happened today. This is the highest level of institutional validation a DeFi token can achieve. A huge shout out to XRP, whatever, easy for this information, right? And I'm going to show you a couple more posts that pretty much does confirm this, right? Boom, Zebec joins the elite 19 token Bloomberg DeFi index, right? We can see boom. And if we actually go to another post over here, this one as well, we can see Bloomberg Galaxy DeFi Index November 2025 target weights. And we can see our beloved Zbec network is here, and obviously with some other Titan cryptos as well. Okay, so we can see this. So, what does this mean? All right, huge news for Zbec, and most people have no idea what this means. Zbec was just added to the Bloomberg Galaxy DeFi Index, the same institutional index tracked by hedge funds, quant desks, asset managers, and future ETFs. Bloomberg strategically selected Zebec as one of the top DeFi assets in the world out of thousands of tokens, right? And that's true. Only 19 made the list, and Zebec is one of them. Let that sink in. When a token enters a Bloomberg index, funds tracking the index must buy it. Quant funds rebalance into it automatically. Terminal users start seeing it on their dashboards. ETF creators build products around it. Institutional exposure goes from zero to global. This is forced institutional buying, meaning not optional, right? So, and Zbex sits alongside giants like Uniswap, AAVE, Injective, DAO, right? So we have a couple other titans as well. And then now we have Zbex. Timing is insane too. We just got the ISO 2022,000 compliance news, right? Sorry, 20,022 compliance news. Swift community migration going global. NatPay integration into ACH, right? Swift community and FedNow, and now Bloomberg Business adding Zbec to an institutional index. This is smart positioning, right? Zbec is no longer just a crypto project. It's becoming a recognized piece of real world payments infrastructure, and Bloomberg just confirmed that to the entire financial world. The rails are shifting, institutions are watching, and Zbec is now on their screens. Okay. So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, like I said, Zbec, I mean, we've been talking about Zbec for God knows how long now, but, like I said before, Zbec has been making Titan moves consistently, right? This is bigger. This is bigger and better than all of these exchange listings we want. Of course, we still on Coinbase, Binance, and Robinhood, but I'm telling you, they're doing the heavy work. They're doing the work that not a lot of other cryptos can say. Okay, this is like the real deal, right? They're consistently moving up the ladder by making real moves, getting real exposure. Okay, this is just the start, right? This is just the start. We think, oh no, like how much more can they do? But we've seen quarter three recap was a movie, right? It was a compilation of just banger, 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 banger after banger. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like my God, that's just in 3 months. This quarter four has been really, really great as well. And we still have more news. I mean, November is still not done. We still practically have a week left, and then we have the rest of December. And you know what? Like a Coinbase listing is possible by then. All of this plus way more. And getting the official ISO compliance completed and done and approved and everything. I'm telling you, people, Zbec is the real deal. This is an amazing project, and I just cannot wait for the future. Right? I don't know how people look at this crypto and say, "Oh, this is bad." Which, by the way, right? By the way, I do want to point out, and I will point this out again because it is in the middle of the video, which means usually there's a little bit less people watching. Look, XRP, by the way, has 100 billion tokens. 100 billion, right? 100 billion XRP. How much does Zebec have? Zebec, oh, you guessed it, 100 billion. Is there a problem with XRP or anything? No, this thing is top four crypto with 123 billion market cap. So, like I said, the supply does not matter. Sure, there's a little bit less circulating supply at 60 billion, but ultimately, at the end of the day, I mean, guys, like, look, 60 billion is still that's a lot, right? That is a lot. Does it matter to these institutions? No, no, it doesn't. Like I said, the supply does not matter. Okay, the supply does not matter. All right, so we can see massive, massive W right there. When we go and look at one more final thing, right, we can see, right, Bloomberg just added the Zebec network to the official Galaxy DeFi index with a 1.55% weight, meaning institutional funds tracking the index are now forced buyers. So once again, forced buyers. This is real validation, real demand, and the start of real institutional flow. So we have the chart here once again, but then we can see, right, in simple terms, this means Zebec has been officially recognized by Bloomberg and Galaxy as a legit DeFi asset. Funds that follow this index now have to buy Zebec. Institutional flows will naturally increase. This is a massive step towards mainstream adoption. This is one of the biggest institutional credibility signals Zebec has ever received. Once again, people, right? Huge, 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 huge news. All right. And it's beautiful. All right. It's beautiful. And I'm not surprised Zbek is smashing it. Right. Look, Bloomberg doesn't add micro caps ever. Right. Bloomberg's DeFi index is built for institutional benchmarks. For them to add Zbek, the liquidity must be high. The compliance risk must be low. The fundamentals must be real. The team must be delivering. Bloomberg adding a token this small is very unusual. That alone is a unicorn signal, right? And we can see, right, a bot right here, zero proof. There's always gonna be those people. There's some people in life where you could hold their hand and say, "Is this your hand I'm holding?" They'll say no. It's just some people are very, very special in a not so good way, not so good way. Now, the final thing, right? Could the Bloomberg index, you know, catapult Zebec towards an ETF? Zebec was just added to the Bloomberg Galaxy DeFi Index, the same index used by hedge funds, quant funds, asset managers, and the base layer for multiple ETFs. Let me be very clear. Bloomberg indices are the foundation for ETFs. Whatever is inside the index becomes an automatic ETF exposure. If a new DeFi ETF launches uses this index, Zebec must be included. No voting, no negotiating, no maybe. Index assets equals forced ETF buys. And Zebec just joined the same institutional basket as all these other cryptos as mentioned, right? This is Bloomberg level due diligence that Zebec passed. Now stack this with all the recent things we just talked about, right? The ISO, the Swift migration, the NatPay, the Bloomberg index inclusion before the bull run, the real-time payroll narrative exploding, institutional visibility starting right now. If you put all that together and tells me, and tell me ETFs aren't watching. Zebec just moved on from a crypto project to the future institutional product candidate years earlier than anyone expected. Zebec is lining itself up for something much bigger. Okay? The institutions haven't even arrived yet, but when they do, they'll find Zebec already sitting in the index they trust. Right? Of course, someone says this is for speculative purposes only, right? But you know, at the end of the day, people, right? At the end of the day, some of this obviously is speculation, some of this is probability. But like we talked about in the past, if there's a lot of evidence suggesting something, if there's a lot of evidence pointing towards something, and you're looking at it, you would go with the evidence, right? What does the evidence say? What is the probability for certain things to be happening? But that is ultimately going to be it. We are going to end this video with the basics. We can see we rank 132 out of 9,128 active cryptos. 300 million market cap, practically over a little bit of 21 million volume in the last 24 hours. And yeah, we can see, right? In the last month, we are down 17%. In the last week, we're up almost 7%. In the last day, we're up 4%. Things are looking good. Things are looking great. Let's see how the holders skyrocketed in that single day. Yeah, we can see, right? We practically skyrocketed 300 holders in that day, and we're already up almost 100 holders and counting for this day today. So, yeah, that is all for me, though, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.